Hey guys, Regular Rich here, and I'm here with a video for you guys. I want to discuss my experience at the Santino Bros wrestling shows. Now, if you don't know what the Santino Bros are, it's this little wrestling, I guess, little wrestling company, who have been around since 2008. It says right here on the shirt. So, I first heard of these guys last year. My dad was, when it was around my dad's birthday, he kept telling me about a wrestling show that he wanted to go to. So, at the time, I didn't know how to feel about it, because even though I do like wrestling, I had never been to a live show, like, witnessing it. So, but I was thinking, okay, you know what, it's a wrestling show, it could be, cool. And it was awesome. I went to two of them, so but we're discussing the first one, and it was good. It was cool. The building seemed pretty big. Yeah, there was a lot of room to move around. There was a lot of good seats, and the ring was right there. And in that night there was a total of about maybe 5 matches. And I remember some of the wrestlers, not all of them. Well, I remember them, but not their names. But you had, like I remember the first match was a triple threat between these guys named... They actually had a guy named Guy Cool. Then there was a luchador, and then this guy named Charming. Which was it was a good match, I remember. And that's another thing about these guys, that they have awesome gimmicks. You know, and what's cool is that every wrestler seems to be able to hold their own. You know, that's what's really cool. But back to the point. I'll get to that later. But anyways, so and then like there was a match between it was a luchador and this guy. I guess he's from Puerto Rico. Cannot remember their names. And then you had there was a tag match. I can't remember their names either. But the main event, though, was epic. The one that I went to last year. It was a guy named, I think his name was B-Boy, against a guy named Bateman. The main event was like 22 minutes long, and like the match was, it was crazy. And the funny thing is, like, whenever the wrestlers would brawl outside, there would be, I guess, these like security guards, I don't know. They would always try to protect the fans from getting hit. But they seemed like they were a little exaggerating. So, I mean, the first one last year was cool. It was a good experience. I know I didn't talk about that much because I don't remember that many of the wrestlers. That's why. But yeah. And then the one I actually went to one like about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was but for some reason they had it at a different location, and I was kind of happy about that. Like, okay, it's gonna be at a different location. But the place was a lot small. Like the thing I kind of hated was like when the wrestlers would do rest holds on each other. You know what rest holds are? I couldn't see, you know, until they did some like high flying action or did some unique spots. You know, that's the thing that kind of sucked. But oh yeah, and then actually nah, this one wrestler was at both shows. But it kicked off with an awesome match between Douglas Shane Douglas Shane versus Brian Kendrick. Do you guys remember who Brian Kendrick is, who wrestled in WWE? Yeah, that match was it was a high flying, fast paced match. Douglas Shane and Brian Kendrick. That was I won't say it was a 5-star classic, but I would say it'd be like a 3.5 out of 5 stars, maybe even 4 stars. I mean, that match was epic. Brian Kendrick and Douglas Shane, and they even shook hands after. What was cool too was that Brian Kendrick fell right next to us, and like I patted him like, "Come on, Kendrick, come on!" You know, it was cool. So yeah, that was a good opening way to start off the matches, I guess, or show. And then we had an awesome triple threat between, again, Guy Cool, another Mexican wrestler, a luchador. He had a mask on, and I think this guy had the best gimmick of the night. It was Eli. They call him Eli the Fly, I think. I'm not sure. Everfly? I don't even know. But he had the best gimmick. He had like greasy black hair, painted his face white, and he painted his tongue blue. But I guess it wasn't dry enough because when he stuck his tongue out, the paint was dripping. You know, it looked. Oh my god. I mean, it was an awesome gimmick. Eli, that's his name. And then there was, for some reason, there was this match between these two guys. They called it a student versus teacher match. I'm guessing the teacher was like a coach coaching the student, and I guess this match was like Show me what you're made of. Like, put your skills to the test against me. Oh my god! And this annoyed me throughout the entire night. I was sitting. There was these fangirls. I don't know if they were teenagers or adults, but there was these fangirls sitting right behind me, and they kept cheering for the students. I forgot their names, but they kept cheering, and I was like, oh my god, you know, that's right in my ear. It hurt. And because usually every time a wrestler would fall outside the ring, everybody would stand up to see what, like, is there going to be a high flying move? So when everybody would stand up, the girls would be yelling, "Sit down, sit down!" You know, I was like, shut up. It's like we pay money for this, you know. So yeah, that annoyed me. And I'm guessing the girls were only there for not the wrestling, but the students' looks. But nevertheless, yeah. And that match ended in a DQ. Actually, the teacher hit him with a chair. Oh yeah, and then there was this one good tag match between these two luchadors against these guys called the Study Buddies. It was hilarious. Their gimmicks. They would stand back to back like this, like back to back, you know, with this kind of pose. They were funny. And the luchadors were awesome, like the outfits. And there was one luchador who was at both the wrestling shows I went to. He's funny, you know, he cuts a lot of funny jokes. He talked in Spanish and English, but he's funny. But yeah, it was a good tag match, and the Study Buddies actually they held their own. One of them, it looks like he's like more of a strength kind of guy, and the other one had like strength and speed, while the other guy looked like he had like good agility, you know. And it was cool. So yeah, that was a cool tag match. Again, it was Luchadors versus the Study Buddies. I can't remember the Luchadors' names though. I think they were like the Dragons or something. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and then there was a guy named Bateman. Bateman was freaking epic. He wrestled a guy named BC. BC, he's the Santino Bros submission champion, where you win the belt by submission, which was an okay match. Bateman got knocked the hell out. Like literally, I think he was unconscious. Oh, and by the way, there was another match in the one I went to last year between Brody and Haas. Yeah, I think Haas. I was dying to see Brody again when I went to the one a few weeks ago. He was there, but he was hurt. Like, he had a cast on his ankle or something. So I was disappointed, but I'm guessing he was there to still help out with the show. Like, oh, let me get the stuff organized for you guys, you know, stuff like that. That was cool. But the main event was a guy named Famous B versus Chaos. According to my dad, Chaos has wrestled in a few other different wrestling companies. I don't know. But it was a short main event, but it was still cool to see, you know. It was for the Santino Bros Championship, which Famous B won, which was cool. And then they cut a promo about, like, Famous B was like, oh, you know, your time is almost up and stuff like that. It was cool. So the next show is gonna be on September 17th. Yes, I will be there. Oh yeah, and I took a picture with Famous B too. I had to run up to him and be like this. Hey, can I take a? Hey, I was like, hey, Famous B, can I take a picture? You know, I had to actually run to him. But yeah, I took a picture with him. That was cool. But yeah, the next show is gonna be on September 17th, which I will be there. September 17th. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be going with my dad, my brother Michael, and my best friend Aaron. I actually asked him. He said he's willing to go. That's pretty much it, guys. My experience on Santino Bros. Have you guys been there? Do you guys know about them? Leave your thoughts on the comment section. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until then, guys, Reckless Rich, signing out.